قليلا عن الربيع العربي، أسبابه ومبرراته، مراحله، وإلى أين وصل الآن. الربيع العربي جاء بعد أن فقد شباب الربيع العربي أملهم
inside these current regimes. It came after the situation has, the economic situation has, and the political situation and the security situation has reached to the level to dead end. The youth has decided to go into real war. It's peaceful. The fight for freedom and dignity and democracy, for civilization, for equal civilization. The youth of the Arabic Spring and the women has lived, and all the people in Arabic Spring, against the conspiracy done by the government against its people. They live in the shadow of no freedom, no rights, and the freedom of expression, one of them. They live in the shadow of poverty, ignorance, and it's different from one country to another. They will live under fear from the dictators, in the shadow of the years of governing them, the regime of Gaddafi, Mubarak, Ali Abdullah Saleh, and Bashar al-Assad. And they started these people to inherit the power to its sons and children, and give them all sectors of the government, security, army, everything. So the youth, they thought that the coming generation, they will take over under this publican system. All the countries of this Arabic country, they reached to the lower level. And when the person reached to the lower level, he has only two choices: either to die or to go up, either to lose hope or to hold the hope to go up. That's why the youth of the Arabic Spring, they decide to go up, and to go up from this whole deep end. They decided to have the life, not to die. To die for no reason. And to reject all types of this life. They decided at this moment to own the hope, the dream, to get this moment, to gain all the profit of freedom, equality, democracy, and good judgment. They rise up and said, if the people one day decide to have a freedom, so they have to respond to the fate. And so the second part, yeah, I tried the first part. Okay, this is the main point of if the people one day decide to leave, they have to respond so the fate will respond, and the night will fade, and the morning. So the tied up, the chain has to break. So the Arabic Revolution, it's about values and dignity. It's a revolution for life. It's a revolution for value. It came from its civilization, and it came from you, from our sister in all the world, who live in freedom and dignity and equality. The past linked to the present, so he linked the present with the past. The present he want to live in, and one of them is the revolution of communication, which taught the youth of the Arabic Revolution a lot, and support him, give them support. This has broke the monopoly of these systems for media and prevent them to gather peacefully. The youth via Facebook and Twitter and all these methods of communication, they hold meetings, and they dream together, and they plan together, and they decide to go down to the street together, and they die together in the street. For their cause, freedom, dignity, equality, justice. These youth could, by fighting and by holding the peaceful method, they all went out. All of them, they were chanting, peaceful, peaceful, our revolution is peaceful. They could, because they took the panel of peaceful first, not the violence first. Even this motto, when it was rise up in Syria, has risen up. So the current regime has changed the way of this revolution from peaceful to violent. These people, they decide to go in peaceful way, and they wanted to sacrifice for this value, for these dreams, for their nations, and for the world they live in. They had victory. These youth, they had victory in Tunisia, and Ben Ali stepped down, and also in Egypt, and Mubarak has stepped down, and they won in Libya, and they had Gaddafi step down, and also in Yemen. For Abdullah Saleh, he also stepped down, and also in Syria they will do that, and eventually we'll have Bashar step down. What makes the Arabic Spring Revolution different? That the women and the youth they were on the first line of this revolution. They are the people who give sacrifices. We want to we are sure that 85% of them, from injured and martyrs of this revolution in the Arabic Spring Revolution, their age is less than 25 years old. When we are sure that this revolution has been led by women, the Arabic women. it's been led by the women in search for the equal civilization right for both of them, for women and men. Try to find dignity for men and women. They provide. The woman has presented herself as a leader. She didn't present herself as a victim. She presented herself as a saver for the people and its dream. And she didn't present herself as a student for anybody. That's why she had a victory, and that's why the Youth Arabic Spring has won. Where are you now in the Arabic Spring Revolution? Has it been ended now? Is all what you achieve is the end? Are you gonna replace the dictator with another dictator? We say the answer no. And 1,000 no. When Ben Ali stepped down and Ben Ali, Mubarak, Ali Abdullah Saleh and Bashar Assad, this means the beginning. It's only the beginning. We are now on the way, on the steps to follow. These stages, which require standing up against the corruption and change this corruption in all type of the government, which targeted the construction of the government, a civilized government, the modern civilized government, the government of rights and freedom, the government of institutions, the government of the good judgment. The government of the modern civilized government. It's not the religious, the tribal or military government. I won't be long, so we can start asking questions. But I want to confirm and stress at the end of my speech that we are in the Arab Spring Revolutions in the 4 countries: Tunisia, Egypt, Libya, and Yemen. We are going through the stage after the dictator has stepped down, which we will go through after the fantastic struggle. We will go through all these obstacles, and we will gain respect from all the nations. We have only now Syria, the great Syria, which go through now through bravery conflict through the last 3 years. Its people struggle and fight for democracy, freedom, and push for these causes. 100,000 of people as martyrs and injured. He pushed for all these causes. He is ready to pay more than 50,000 women hidden obligatory. We don't know where they are. They pay for this demolition of their houses and displacement. For this cause, more than 160 million, 6.5 million refugees for dignity and equality. This is the people. It's worth respect, and we have to support them and be behind them. Assalamu alaikum.
Shukran.
We'd like to take questions, start a conversation from you. And so if you have some question or to make a comment, we have two fabulous volunteers in the background who can raise their hand. Would anyone like to raise their hand for the microphone? Okay, Lynn Twist here in the front, and then Barbara.
Lynn Twist from the United States. First of all, congratulations and thank you for your really absolutely stunning leadership for your country, for your people, and for the world. Particularly incredible that you're a woman and that you stood up the way you did and continue to do so. My question is, how has the Nobel Peace Prize impacted you and your leadership? Has it given you greater visibility, greater access? How has it impacted you?
Will you take more, or I have to?
Do you want to do one at a one, or?
As you want.
Okay, go ahead. Okay. We'll start with that.
Do you want me to speak in English or Arabic? I will try. جائزة نوبل هي جاءت كاعتراف عالمي.
Nobel Prize came as an international recognition, from all over the world, particularly from the United Nations, because of the greatness of the Arab Spring, and the peacefulness of these, and their respect for the women's part in this Arab Spring also came particularly, and that particularly came from the Yemeni revolution, because the Yemeni revolution was the most complicated revolution. Whoever was interested in the Yemenis was really worried from this revolution. It came from friends, from government, from everyone. Tawakkol, please. There is no need for this revolution. You're gonna bring this country and the world into a civil war, because Yemen owns over 70 million parts of weapon and arms. 70 million parts of weapon or arms. That shows Ali Abdullah Saleh, and Ali Abdullah Saleh is only with flowers, and the people they left all these weapons with peace, and they came with the slogan as peaceful, or revolution peaceful. Millions of Yemeni women. It was a sudden and it was surprise. And the women, they came with a black veil all over from top to bottom. And that was one of the other reasons, where particularly was, according to the Nobel News, since 2006, there was a struggle inside the Yemenis people. There was to get rid of all the weapons and get rid of all the conflicts. And anybody can take a pistol and go and take on. During Ali Abdullah Saleh time, how can we struggle for peace without weapon then? Until this the young people, peaceful revolution came. I started with a group of young people, a square called the Freedom Square, in front of the ministry, government ministry. 2007 until 2007. People were laughing and joking, and they were saying, throwing slogans like crazy and nuts. But we insisted that was the only way. That was the only way to get our freedom. We spread all this to everybody, to get our freedom, to gain our freedom. Since 2007 until 2011, when Ben Ali was away, then we started our peaceful revolution, and we were able to be recognized. I was told in Nobel, and then I was told in 2006 we were watching you since 2006, and we wanted to give you this prize, but we waited, and we thought that was the best time that we can give you the prize. That was during the Spring Revolution in 2011. That was 2011 helped all the human. Barbara عندها سؤال.
Yep. Great. Yeah, I knew you'd want to.
I don't want, like, I want to make demonstration now.
Rise up.
Yeah.
Thank you. My name is Barbara Ransby, and I teach at University in Chicago, and I run a social justice initiative, and we've worked with Jody and the Nobel Women's Initiative. So thank you for your courage and your eloquence. And I'll try to make a complicated question short, which is to say, and I appreciate that there are differences. We talk about the Arab Spring between Yemen and Tunisia and Egypt, et cetera. And I think in struggles all over the world, it's sometimes easier to know what we're against. We want the Ben Ali and the Mubaraks out. But then I wanted to ask you to talk a little bit more about peace building and justice building after the Arab Spring. And in particular, I have appreciated the Nobel Women's Initiative's courage in standing up for, in solidarity with the Palestinian people. And I wanted to ask what you thought about a just peace in Palestine and Israel as being central to peace in the region.
بالنسبة لاحتياجات بناء السلام.
The need for peace requirement after the Arabic Spring revolutions, I think I spoke about it in my initial speech about how to construct the peaceful process. Peaceful process it needs a lot of things in any conflicting area. One of the important things the Arabic Spring wanted now is these revolutions is going through a transition period. This transition stage or period needs laws, rules, transitional rules which guaranteed the equality. The transitional equality which it guaranteed to adapt the other national equality, international inequality. It's not the equality that guaranteed the protection of the criminals. The transitional justice needs many things which we have to be included in this stage. This is number one. We also need constitutions which guaranteed the fulfillment of this commitment and the cause which guaranteed to fulfill the cause where the people died, the reason for the people died. That's what I said in my speech. The region going through a lot of political changes, so we have to develop this area to we have to be together. All the people of this state and all the countries around this area to succeed, to be part of the success of this revolution. Any recession, economic recession, will reflect the failure, the political failure. We need also economical transitional economy as part of the political transition. We need many things. In this period of time, we need to stand up against the corruption. Because the revolution, it doesn't, this revolution, it's not against one specific person like Ali Abdullah Saleh or Ali al-Qaddafi. He was the head of the corruption, who was the head of these gangs. The revolution is for equality, for justice, for the state of law. Any state cannot fight against corruption, so it means they are empower the corruption. Fighting the poverty is one of them for peaceful, one of these causes for peaceful. So we have to accept each other, we have to dialogue, talking to each other to guarantee the future of this country. Thank you. English.
Thank you.
همه ما معتقدیم که جنگ داخلی خیلی بده. Do you hear? همه ما معتقدیم که جنگ داخلی خیلی بده و بایستی از اونجا.
All of us believe that civil war or internal war is bad and we have to do everything to avoid it. But we encounter a problem when the governments are not willing at all to agree with people or accept. All of us believe and agree that civil war is bad. But sometimes the governments under no condition are willing to accept what people say or agree with people. As an example, in 2009 in Iran, the people very peacefully came onto the streets and protested regarding the rigging the election. But the government started killing the people on the streets, and many were arrested. But people did not resort to violence. They were willing to go to prison and die, but not show violence. And at the same time, they continued up to today the causes that they were after. But unfortunately, the government has not taken the slightest step to benefit the people, in the interest of the people, and the conditions are worsening day by day. And the government, the regime, will force the people to resort to violence because the government is not listening. Or in Syria, people's protest or demonstration in Syria started like this. After the Friday namaz or prayer, people came onto the streets peacefully and were saying, "Free the political prisoners and let us have free elections." But this continued for a few months. Syria was not willing to listen or hear the people and started killing them. The first few months, people didn't do anything, but then they were forced to. They had to carry arms. This is my specific question. When a non-democratic regime under no condition is willing to listen to people or hear the people, how can we avoid civil war and prevent people from carrying arms, but at the same time achieving their goals? Because people cannot be killed all the time forever and keep quiet and silent. Eventually, it will result in violence. I would like to use your experiences and see what are your suggestions.
It is really an interesting question. This question, we ask ourselves about this question as activists for peace and also activists for human rights and also Nobel Award-winning people. To be biased, fully biased to fight, to face violence in peaceful way, we should also follow this. We should not do any other method, because peace is only the most effective way and the most successful way to reach all the goals of human rights and equality. And it's proof that it is even effective to step down the most powerful dictatorship. My duty, particularly as one of the Arabic revolutionists, we didn't face the violence by violence. We didn't burn one police station. We didn't kill one police soldier. We didn't assault one of the headquarters of the party. It's 100% peaceful revolution. My commitment against this peaceful revolution and my fight, we don't want this revolution to go astray, to go in the wrong way, which was it is about to go in the wrong way, and because we are Nobel Award-winning women, this doesn't give us the right to prevent people to defend themselves. This doesn't give us the right to ask the armies, the respectable armies who respect its people, to defend its people. If you go deep in the peace process, principle is to defend the innocent people. The ultimate principle of the peace process is that the person, the dictator, is to get what they How can we work for any revolution, peaceful revolution? We try to avoid any violence, and we have to react quickly to help these people. Let me ask you, when the Syrian revolution went in the wrong way, when? After 6 months of the peaceful revolution, 100% peaceful revolution. They didn't kill one single police officer or one soldier. They didn't raise any slogan. All what they did is chanting, which says, my God, we have only you, our God. It's only you we have, but you. This
هایی هستن که میگن که خدایا بشار اسد میگه اینها تروریست هستن برای اینکه
convince a lot of people that these people they are terrorists or jihadists. After 6 months of killing them, they were just protesting peacefully and nobody listened to them. Nobody. No country listened to them. After that, then what can they do? Seeing their children kills in the street? Being in the prison? Torture them? What can they do? Can I say I am Nobel Peace Prize? No, don't do that. Keep on peace. No, they have their right to protect in themselves. This is the peace. And we have to gather all the world to be with them. How can we move early for them? How can we move? We have to convince our governments to freeze the assets of the dictators. We have to convince our government to take their files to ICC because they are war criminal and they are war against humanity. We want these countries these people to don't go to violence, so support them from Iliad. If they go to violence, please help them to succeed in their revolution because they don't need anything. They don't want anything. They just want democracy. Imagine how many presidents that you have in all your countries, except the dictators' countries. How many presidents? We were ruling by al-Qaddafi for 40 years. We were led by Bashar al-Assad and his father more than 40 years, as well with Mubarak and Ben Ali and Ali Abdullah Saleh. And if we didn't make our revolution, they will continue giving their ruler to their families, with corruption, with everything, with injustice. How can we tell them, okay, go with peace? Don't just raise your flower. They have to continue on that. We have to struggle on that. Please continue on that. But in another hand, we have to listen to them. We have to move with them. We have to be one hand with them. It isn't just for their value. It's for all our values. It isn't just for their countries. It's for our countries. It's for our world. Please, let's dream that we will achieve a world without dictators. Let's dream and work for that. World without dictators, world without corruption, world without terrorists, and world without poverty. All these 4 things, they are linked to each other, and everyone lead to each other. Thank you so much.